Hello, 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 hello. Happy Wednesday. I am so glad to be back with you in our new and exciting environment. This is a room y'all have not seen before. And this is probably just noticed that there's a really nice Taylor Swift banner in the background there. Awesome. But this is actually a really convenient location for me. I am in my sister-in-law's old bedroom, which is actually my husband's office during the day. So I'm working at my husband's desk, and my desk is right on the other side of that wall. And it's a lot more convenient than having to haul my stuff upstairs to the room of requirement. If you know, you know. Hello, friends. I am so glad to see you guys. Oh my goodness. And Andy showed up bright and early, found the doohickey. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Paulette is here. Hello, Paulette. It is good to see you. And Paulette and Andy, we're going back and forth. Lissa's here. Hi, Lissa and Lauren and Kim and Caitlin. You guys, it's so good to see you. Hello from sunny and hot Florida. It was quite a journey to get here, quite a journey, but we made it. We survived in one piece. Thank you, Lord. And now we are hanging out here for a while. And I'm really stoked about it because evidently yesterday, our lovely little city got like 6 to 7 inches of snow. So we left just in time. It was freezing there for the last week while we were there, but we left before all of the precipitation happened, which is really, really good news. Hi, Sheila. It is good to see you. Oh my goodness. I'm so glad to see everybody. Let me know if the audio is good. Let me know if we're having any signal problems. Signal problems are a thing in this house. And we're going to make the best of it. We're going to make the best of it. We'll see how it goes. So let's start the conversation, shall we, with your highs and lows. It has been 2 weeks since I have seen you. So what kind of things have happened? What things are we celebrating this week? And if you have any lows that you want to share, feel free to share those as well. I will start. First high is we made it to Florida in one piece. Paulette, the weather in Florida today, well, it is currently 75 degrees outside. Pitch black, 75 degrees outside and sunny. Today's high was like 80, 85 was today's high. And the weather is hanging out around there. Like we're dipping into the 80s most of the days. So I'm in a tank top and you can't see, but I'm in shorts. I have been in shorts ever since I have been down here. I'm even back to sleeping in shorts, which is weird. It's very weird. I still sleep in my socks, but I sleep in shorts. Probably won't last long. I think my body's really below freezing to here. But the weather in Chicagoland was actually lovely the week that we were here. Absolutely lovely, or there. So we made it to Florida. That is one high. We spent a lovely week at home in Illinois with my family, which was lovely. We played with Alice, who reads like a champion, now, even though she's in kindergarten. She's in kindergarten and she was reading to us, and it was just her reading until first grade. And I don't know if the curriculum changed or what, but apparently they're learning to read in kindergarten now. And it is just, she's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. And it was so much fun to be able to hang out with her. It was our Thanksgiving was lovely. Both of my sisters, and just nice to have everybody around. It was a good vacation. Hanging out with my grandpa is always a joy. We helped him put the Christmas tree up, and it was just lovely. It was a lovely time. And then our journey to Chicago, or from Chicago to Florida, it was the longest journey. It felt like the longest journey. We still did it in 2 days, but you are experiencing technical difficulties. Lovely. Is anyone else experiencing technical difficulties? Because sometimes it's on y'all's end, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's on my end this time. We will see. But thank you, Kim, for calling out the technical difficulties. I will keep seeing. Your video does not match your audio. Cool. Awesome. Awesome. Lovely. That's everybody is experiencing technical difficulties. Yes, you're all experiencing technical difficulties. Hang on, let me see if I can change a camera setting and see if that makes a difference. Hold the phone. We're going to try something. See if it works. Now, does the audio match the video? That is the question. Does the audio match the video now? Isn't it baffling how different the quality of the video is? This is my webcam. This is the webcam on my computer that I have live streamed from for many, many, many live streams. But I keep using the iPhone, right? The iPhone. And it's great, except I don't know if it's okay, so that fixed the problem. Cool. Maybe here I just have to use the webcam, and that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But yeah, so my highs were all of those things, all of the travels. Great. Awesome. That's really helpful to know. Thank you guys for helping me troubleshoot that. So while I'm in Florida, this is what we will get. Lower quality, but at least everything works, right? It's fine. It's fine. So, and my low was how long? We still did it in 2 days, but it was a very, very long 2 days to get here. But we made it. We made it, and that's all that really matters. I have a really long first day of Vlogmas for you guys tomorrow. So, buckle up for that. It hasn't been uploaded yet. I have to upload it once I'm done here. It is a 42-minute video, which is hilarious because I feel like I didn't film all that much, and somehow it's 42 minutes long. So grab yourselves a cup of coffee tomorrow morning and buckle up because it is time for Vlogmas. And while that is very, very exciting, I started off with a bang, apparently. Apparently. All right, let's see what everybody else's highs are. My high is that I'm basically done with Christmas shopping. Yay! I got a fun bright coral sweatshirt that I love at an outlet store. That's always fun. I got a new zip. Love it. My lows are hours of frustrating customer service experiences, dealing with insomnia, and I have a procedure on my eye tomorrow, and I'm feeling a little bit anxious about it. Totally understandable as somebody who has had procedures in the eye. It is definitely a thing to feel anxious about. You don't need to be anxious about it because Lord willing, the doctor knows what they're doing and it's fine, but it's hard to not feel anxious about it. Reading well. I was reading well before kindergarten. Interesting. Got an A for my heart doctor. Yay! He said he would trade hearts with me. Myself being diabetic, it's extremely important to have a good heart, so I'm thankful. That is wonderful, wonderful news. Love it. My highs are working a lot and getting lots of steps and burning lots of calories. Low is eating high calories most days. So my question is that intentional? Are you eating high calories because you are choosing to eat high calories, or is it something that is not in your control? And is that a problem? Because eating high calories most days doesn't necessarily have to be a low, especially if the higher calories are your maintenance calories. That is something we need to remember, especially rolling into the holiday season, y'all. You do not, even if you have a weight loss goal, you do not need to be in a calorie deficit during the holidays. Maintenance is an acceptable thing. Maintenance is something that everybody should be experiencing at some point. And you can do maintenance in any way that you want. You can do maintenance for the entirety of the holiday season. You can opt to do maintenance for Christmas Day or Hanukkah or whatever your holiday celebrations are. You can opt to do it for 1 week. You can opt to do it on and off. It doesn't matter. That's the joy of maintenance. So if you're trying to lose weight and you're like, oh, I really just want to eat more food, which is what I've been experiencing lately. After a week of not tracking and eating what was offered to me, and then the stressful travel and everything, difficult to jump right back into my really lower calorie deficit. So do you know what I did? A deficit, but today I actually hit my calories on the head for the first time since before we left Minnesota, and it feels so of calories. I'm tracking, I made sure I got my protein goal today, and I'm actually tracking my fiber to make sure I get enough fiber and water. And you know what? Everything felt good. Always, always, I say this a million times, y'all, always eat protein for breakfast. Even better, protein and fiber for breakfast. I had an egg fold over today. We all know that egg foldovers are my jam. And I use as my foldover component, I use a high fiber wrap of some kind. So you get the protein and you get the heavy hitting fiber. I have been satisfied all day. it's just been, I've eaten the rest of the day, but I've never felt like crazy hungry, crazy cravings, anything. None of that. I was able to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert, and now I'm done. And I'm satisfied. And it's awesome. Do, do, do. Lows are I can't sleep at night. Oh, that is the worst. That is. You've lost 19 pounds since your last doctor's visit, and that's your goal, right? To lose weight. So that's awesome. Fantastic. Fantastic. We haven't picked a topic yet, Patrick. We are currently sharing our highs and our lows with one another. So if you have something from the last week or two that you wanted to celebrate or what the highlight of your time was, we would love to hear it, or the low of your week, if you will. We're also open to hearing that as well. My REM sleep is stellar, amazing, so good. Your low is the snow. Yes, yes. I mean, I can't. I understand, but I can't relate. I'm very thankful today that I'm hanging out in Florida for a while because, yes, snow. I was like, oh, I even checked our Ring camera today just to be like, what does it actually look like outside our front door? And there's snow. There's definitely snow. One of those popcorn tins is popcorn variety. Good news is the popcorn is all gone. So Starbucks, if you like it, the act of Starbucks, you know you can modify your orders and stuff, right? So if you need to make them lower calorie or lower sugar, here's a pro tip. When you have like, let's take a peppermint mocha, which I haven't actually had yet this season, because both times we went to Starbucks, I just ordered a plain coffee with a splash of cream. And I was like, you know what? I don't even feel like I'm missing out. Now to balance that, I actually had a cranberry bliss bar. No, wait, 3. I had one in Minnesota and I had 2 on the road. So good. So good. But they're a little heavy hitting in the calorie department, but you can do things like my precious peppermint mocha. I have learned, first of all, instead of making it whole milk, you can do non-fat milk, and that cuts the calories like in half, no joke, and eliminates a bunch of the fat, right? But you can also ask for, because they don't have sugar-free peppermint anymore, which is infuriating, but it's fine. You don't need to use all of the pumps of peppermint. You don't need to use all the pumps. So you can actually do, I've actually noticed that, like, I don't know if the like, ask for them like cut the peppermint in half. It's still pepperminty enough. It's still peppermint mocha awesomeness. But you cut the sugar too, which is nice. So there, make sure that you modify things to help make sure that you're feeling like you are enjoying your thing, enjoying your indulgence, but also being mindful. Because if you go once, order the thing, right? Order the full fat, full sugar, full whatever. But if you're going every day, you're going to want to make modifications to that. You can email Starbucks to get the nutrition information for your custom drinks if you make modifications. Interesting. They used to, and I don't know why they don't do this anymore, but in the app, you used to be able to get the calculations on the spot. Like, you could make modifications to the drinks and the nutrition information would change. Why don't they do that anymore? I don't understand. Yeah. Do you see soccer? No. I don't see soccer. I see Taylor Swift. Starbucks, no caffeine, no milk, no sugar. Wait, that's water. It could be decaf coffee, Andy. It could be decaf coffee. No caffeine, no milk, no sugar. I mean, decaf isn't I think a perfect science of no caffeine, but it's like such low caffeine that, you know, it's considered, especially to the caffeine lovers, it's considered basically no caffeine. Fun fact. Do you know what I saw at Target yesterday? So Target has their own brand of sparkling waters, like LaCroix, Waterloo, whatever. They have their own brand, the Good and Gather brand. And yesterday, for the first time while I was there, they had caffeinated ones. Caffeinated versions of these sparkling waters. So if you're in the market for a caffeinated sparkling water, Target has them, which I thought was really interesting. Oh no. Decaf coffee is just slightly flavored coffee water. Yes, I agree with you. And also, the way my sister makes coffee is also slightly coffee flavored water. I learned that, I told you guys the story a year or 2 ago when my sister made coffee and I was like, this is awful. How did you make it? And she told me how little coffee she put in. And I was like, no. And so then she made it my way and it was too strong for her. Well, the other day, my sister, I'm over at the house and my sister is having her morning coffee before she goes to the office to do her work because she works from home now. And She's like, "Here, have it. It's peppermint mocha. It's really good." I was like, "Sure, all right." She's the one who has like all the Jordan Skinny syrups and the sugar-free creamers because she had bariatric surgery, so she can't do a lot of sugar, so she has to do sugar-free. I take a drink of this. I take one sip, and immediately my tongue is like, remember how like over time my beverage preferences have been changing and especially my coffee preferences have been changing and how I'm much more interested in not sweetened things? Y'all, the the overwhelming taste of artificial sweetener and not enough coffee to balance it out that was in that cup. Holy moly. Holy moly. Um Makes me want a Starbucks coffee. I got an ASL mugs from Starbucks yesterday. Oh, how cute. Kind of like the bubbly brand. Yes. Yeah. Bubbly is another brand. So it's like bubbly, LaCroix. Does bubbly have caffeinated as well? I don't know. I just happened to see it. We haven't tried it because when I texted my husband when I was there, he didn't answer in time for me to grab them. So I'm gonna grab a case next time I go to Target. And we'll see. We'll see how they taste. And I'll let you know. I will report back. So what kind of things do we want to talk about tonight, my friends? Ask your questions, bring up your topics. I only got 2 questions on Instagram today, but first I have to share with you, and you'll see this in the video tomorrow, but I wanted to share something with you guys and not spoil the entirety of the video. But look at my new earrings. Do you get it? How cute are these? How cute are these? And the camera is not doing the gem in the middle justice. It is like opalescent sparkle. But are these not just the cutest? The cutest? And like when you wear them, they're small enough for like if you know, you know, but if you don't know, you're gonna be like, what does she have on her ears? I love them. Christina got them for me for my birthday or for Christmas. I don't know which one it was. Because I got my Christmas and birthday gifts at the same time. Oh, bubbly bounce. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. I haven't had coffee in a while. Bones coffee. I did not like Bones coffee at all. I started adding espresso in my coffee. Keeps me going all morning. I love it. Keeps up with 3 babies and 6 kids, and I don't. Oh my goodness. Didn't complain like the young employees. Good for you. Good for you. Half calf is a great idea. That's definitely an option. You don't have to get the full caffeinated. Um, love it. Y'all like adorable earrings. They're so cute. I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I have them. So that's the one little thing that I'll share with you because I got other stuff in my video tomorrow. I do my goals. I do a whole rundown of our trip. I do. Oh my goodness gracious, y'all. Buckle up. It's a long one. So while I'm waiting for you guys to come up with stuff that you want to talk about, I will answer the 2 questions that I was asked today. And the first one was, have you decided on your word of the year for 2023? And the answer is yes. I actually decided this a while ago. And it was thanks to being in the College of Confidence, which I will admit I have actually canceled my membership to because I am not utilizing it enough for it to be worth this $50 a month that I'm paying for it. So, and I was like, well, if I really want to go back, I'll go back later. But for now, I've canceled the College of Confidence because I'm kind of just ready to do less of what other people are. I'm like, what if I figure out how to do it myself and see if I can make things work better for me? That's kind of mentally where I'm at right now. Getting ready for goal setting and everything. And I was like, I'm the one that's coming up with like, hey, what if I focus on one thing? Hey, and like obviously I'm taking inspiration from the many um goal setting things and books that I've read and whatever. But like the idea to focus on the one thing and have everything else support that one thing or not be as important as the one goal was my idea. And so I'm like, you know what? What if I just not try to bombard myself with everybody else's how to and just see how I want to do it. We'll see. But my word of the year, I did get from the College of Confidence, and it's actually not a word, it is a phrase. It is a French phrase, and that is joie de vivre, which means the joy of living. Like there's a better definition of it joie de vivre. Exuberant enjoyment of life is what the dictionary pops up. Joie de vivre, exuberant enjoyment of life. And the reason that I chose that as my word of the year or my faith Anti-disestablishmentarianism. I am impressed that you took the time to type that out. That is a really long word, Andy. Oh my goodness gracious. For those that are watching, anti-disestablishmentarianism. That is a word I have not thought about in years. In years. Because that, like when you're a kid, everyone's like, "Oh, anti-disestablishmentarianism," because everyone learns that word is a really long word, and then they throw it at each other, even though they don't know what it means. But joie de vivre, exuberant enjoyment of life. I have been so busy getting bogged down by wanting to, grow and do this and achieve and accomplish and numbers and progress and this and that. You guys know by now, and I'm preaching to the choir because you guys have been here for this discussion time and time and time again. But I'm talking about it because I was asked this question. But it's bogged me down enough where I'm constantly feeling a state of burnout. And what did we learn recently from good old TikTok? Burnout can take 2 to 5 years to come out of instead of like a 1-month break or a week off. So this year, 2023, I am focusing on the enjoyment of life. And yes, within that is weight loss my big goal still. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I actually applied that just today of the whole weight loss is your number one priority. Everything else takes second fiddle, right? And I was starting to get to the point it's a whole thing. Hockey games have been on really stinking late because we are now on the East Coast and they're playing on the West Coast, which means games aren't starting until like 9:30 p.m. here. We have gone to bed around 1 a.m. almost every night since we've been here. It's bogging me down, y'all. It's bogging me down. We usually go to bed between 10:30 and 11. But so I've been allowing myself to sleep in, and I've been getting out of bed between 8:30 and 9 o'clock. And I want to go, oh, why are you being so lazy? No, that's still just my 8 hours. It's not like I'm exceeding my 8 hours. I'm getting the required sleep that I need to function. It's just all shifting and happening later, right? So with that, I always like by the time I get up and I've been doing Bible study in the morning, like I've been doing all of the things and it's just all delayed a little bit more. And I had to edit a video today, which I haven't had to do in weeks. The video that went live on Monday, I forgot I put up. I did that video weeks ago. And so I would imagine my surprise when I went on, because I check my YouTube comments every single day. And imagine my surprise when I went on and saw that I published a video on Monday. Because I thought I was like, you know what, just forget it. I'm not even going to worry about putting out a video until Vlogmas starts. No, I already had a video up, which is awesome. But you just join the College of Confidence. Yeah, and I hope it works out well for you. I just was not using it. I wasn't using it. And while like I poked through a couple of different courses and things like that, it was good information, but also not information that was new to me. So I'm just like, I'm just gonna save money. I'm gonna save the money and put it towards something else. There's other things that I need to be well, right now I'm on a no spend anyway. So I'm just gonna save it so I can spend it somewhere else. But for a lot of people, it's a very valuable tool. So if it works for you, great. Oh, sorry. But keep in mind, it's an hour later than I normally live stream for me. I know it's the same time, but in my brain, like I should be done by now. It's almost 8:30. And I'm not. I'm not done. I forgot the point. I forgot what I was talking about. Awesome. I forgot what I was talking about. Joie de vivre. And how I applied it to my life today. So I kind of did a little bit of a workout. I haven't done a thorough workout, but what I have been doing is walking every day since I've been here on the treadmill upstairs if I don't get outside. And I was making every excuse in the book to be like, no, you gotta film, you gotta film your goals, and then you gotta edit the video and it has to go up today. So you can't like delay it until tomorrow. Can't do that. And so I'm like, maybe I just need to be done. I need to be done with my steps. And then I was like, no, Brianna, do you remember how you promised yourself that the weight loss and the steps that you need to take to get there have to take number one priority over everything else? And I was like, oh, yes, I did say that, didn't I? And so what did I do? I went upstairs and I walked on the treadmill for half an hour. And now your girl is sitting pretty at 8:25 p.m. at 12,437 steps. And I have exceeded 10,000 steps every day since I've been here. And it's easier when you're in a bigger house because I naturally get more steps. Like I didn't do a walk at all yesterday because I was doing grocery shopping and everything, and I had 10,000 steps by 6 p.m. But the point is, I actually used my own logic that I promised myself I was going to do and actually followed through on being like, no, no, remember when you said this was the priority? Prove to yourself that it's the priority. And I did. And it feels very, very good. It feels very good. Um, Been to Florida a few times. It's a great state. Really like the people there. And live in a Muslim country in the United States. It's a crazy place I would not want to share. A Muslim country in the United States. Wait, Florida is a crazy place? Florida is a crazy place. It's a crazy place. Um, Floridians are crazy. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Um, I made that comment literally as I was driving around yesterday. I was like, what is happening? Like, even on the roads. Even on the roads, I'm like, Floridians. Dial it down, yo. Just a little bit. Great place to hang out. Not necessarily a place I would live though, to be honest. Like, uh, let me correct myself. I love the idea of being a snowbird. I love the idea, and I'm very, very lucky that I get to come down here in the dead of winter because Minnesota is beautiful. I love Minnesota. There's a reason we decided not to move to Alabama. There are many reasons we decided not to move to Alabama, but one of them is we genuinely love living in Minnesota. Everything about Minnesota is wonderful, except how freaking cold the winters get. They get brutally cold. And we got a nice taste of that brutal coldness the week before we left because the week of my birthday is when the snow started to fall, and then we ended up with like 10-degree highs. So I was ready to come to Florida, but getting that couple month reprieve because we're gonna be here for 2 months. It's a nice break to break up the bitter cold, unlike anything I've ever experienced living in Chicago. But Minnesota, once it thaws out, it is just the Minnesota summers are what will sell you. And so, like, the idea of being a snowbird, because like Minnesota summers are too beautiful to give up. But Minnesota winters, if you are built for winter, if you enjoy winter, great. I will never be somebody who's built for winter. It's just the way my disability works. I cannot do cold. Um, I love the summers there. I love the springs there. I even love the falls there. And like being a Midwesterner my entire life, I can hit like 32 degrees is not cold. It's fine. It is totally fine and reasonable. And I can dress for 32 degrees. It's when things start to get below freezing that we have a problem. So I'm not one who's like, it's winter. Let's go outside and go cross country skiing. A lot of Minnesotans do that. Minnesotans are built for outside. It doesn't matter your size, it doesn't matter your age. Everybody in Minnesota is outside. Everybody in Minnesota, except for me when it is cold. I am one of the minorities in Minnesota in that I don't embrace the going outside in the winter. But everybody else does, and everybody else is wonderful. But here in Florida, it's just a little bit harsher. And I like being here when it's winter up back home, but I don't know that we would ever live here permanently, to be honest. My husband doesn't like the temperatures. I mean, there's a reason he left, right? It wasn't just me that he left. I figured I should jump on Black Friday, Cyber Monday promo. I hope I either like it or realize it's not for me quickly. Yes, 110%. What can run but never walks? What has a mouth but never talks? What has a head but never weeps? What has a bed but never sleeps? I feel like I should know this. Oh, good. Y'all. Y'all, why are the trolls here tonight? What is going on? Why? I mean, I agree, all of you, but you don't need to be here. Goodbye. Do I have any admins on today? I don't think I do. Let's just give me a moment while I go ahead and block all of these individuals. Tell me it's a bot without telling me it's a bot. When everybody comes in and says the exact same thing at the exact same time. All right then, friend, introduce yourself. Tell us about you. Wow, a lot of winter haters. I know. I mean, I can't blame them. I don't blame them. And it's not that. Here's the thing. Winter is pretty when you're inside looking out and don't have to go anywhere. My relationship with winter has changed a little bit since COVID because we got a gym downstairs. At least the spam was on topic. That's true. That's true. Nothing horrendous was said. It was very on topic, but just tell me you're a bot without telling me you're a bot. Boom, 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 boom. Or I mean, it's entirely possible that they weren't bots or whatever, but like there's no way that it's not when it's a river. It's a riverbed. Oh, and a riverhead and the mouth of a river. Ah, I feel like I've heard that ages ago. Y'all, here you go. You got a riddle for everybody. Bring it to your next family gathering, courtesy of our buddy Andy. That's a solid one, Andy. I like it. It's a solid one. I do like the smell of winter. And I do like all of the things associated with winter. Like, not gonna lie, Christmas in Florida does lose a little something when it doesn't have the snow. But if I had my druthers, it snows on Christmas Eve, it's gone by the 26th. Dunzo. It can be cold. Here's the thing. Here's the honest to God truth, y'all. If it didn't precipitate, I would not hate winter. The problem that I have with winter, yes, the cold can be unbearable and it wrecks my nerves and I'm always freezing and whatever. But the most anxiety provoking thing for me about winter is not the cold. It is the wet, slippery situation that is happening outside. It's the roads. It's the fact that walking from my handicap spot in the parking lot to the door, I have to pray to God that wherever I am has salted the parking lot and plowed the parking lot thoroughly enough that I don't slip and fall. Because if I fall on a slippery surface, do you have any idea how hard it's going to be for me to get up? Do you have any idea? And so the anxiety I feel every time it has recently snowed is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Seriously, if I had a winter with no snow, but bottomed out temperatures, I would be a much happier human being. Much happier. I can keep on putting layers. I can keep wearing my Sherpa lined sweatshirts and pants. We actually did the shrink wrap. Have you guys ever done this? This is for people who live in like the Midwest and everything. Have you ever shrink wrapped your windows? Where you put the plastic wrap around the window frame and then you blow dry it so it tightens up and it's supposed to insulate you from the extra air that comes in. We shrink wrapped our windows this year, and I swear to you, I don't think it's like placebo effect or whatever the case may be, but like it was pretty cold before we left, and I swear it did not feel as miserable as our living room has felt in the past. We shrink wrapped I think 2 years ago, and we didn't shrink wrap last year, and we shrink wrapped just a couple windows in our main living area again this year, and I have been pleasantly comfortable in our living room the entire time. But I am convinced that if it did not precipitate, if it did not snow, if it did not freeze, if nothing got slippery and it was just cold, I would do a lot better. I would do a lot better. It's the wetness and the frozenness and the sheer danger that it is to my being that makes me hate winter so much. Driving in snow is anxiety provoking. Yes. What I like about winter is I can keep my yes. I lived in the snow for 3 years after being raised in California. Miss snow, but not driving in it. So yes, I do love the one thing that my favorite thing about winter, other than the fact that that is when Christmas falls, is I don't have to rush to go. Oh, is my cream hero? It's not gonna melt. And so your groceries, you can do all the grocery shopping. You can do all of your errands and not have to worry about going home because your food's gonna go bad or your ice cream's gonna melt or whatever the case may be. I do love that about winter, 100%. With rain gusts, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, those are some intense winds. Please stay inside. That's dangerous. I don't have to go out in the snow. I'm terrified of ice. If I fall on my knees, I'll be in a lot of trouble. 100%. That I agree completely. My knees are completely gone. Yep. Yeah, it's awful. It's awful. So that's, I keep telling, it's partially a joke, but it's partially not. I don't know how the logistics of it all works, but do you know what I really want? I want to get a pair of like those slide on cleats like cleats, is that what they are? That you can get for walking on slippery surfaces that like really get your shoes into the surface. I know they make them. It's typically for outdoor sport. What I want to know is, would it be ridiculous of me to wear them like inside Target? Like if I put them on the pair of shoes that I wanted to wear before I went outside and didn't have to worry about slipping because I was literally had cleats knocking through the ice, would it be better? But can I wear them inside? Or are they easy enough for me to slip on and off? Because things with my hands, aren't always easy. So it's one of those things like I really want them, but I don't know if it makes practical sense to get them. Um, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's New England for you. It's a lot of snow. I don't like that. Although did you hear about Buffalo? Buffalo, New York got what? Like 6 feet of snow the other day? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Okay. So the other question that I was asked today was, what is the best day to weigh in? And to that, dear viewer, follower, subscriber, I guess I'll leave this up. I say, there is no best day to weigh in. Everybody's preferred weigh-in day is on their own. So this is first assuming that you are not a daily weigher. I am now a daily weigher. A lot of you guys are now daily weighers because I have preached the goodness of daily weighing. But back in the good old days, I did weigh on a specific day, and you will see, you saw a couple weeks ago, and subsequently going forward, you will see my official weigh-in day will always be Fridays. My weigh-in day has been Friday since I started Weight Watchers back in 2007. Why? I chose Friday as my weigh-in day first because that is when my meeting was, so I got used to it, but I also loved that my weeklies reset on Friday because on weigh-in day, my weeklies reset, so I had enough of my weekly points left for indulgences over the weekend. And then when Monday rolled around, if I was completely out of weeklies, it was fine because I could behave myself, be back to just using my dailies, whatever. And then I could officially weigh back in on Friday and get my weeklies back and go ahead and do the whole weekend going out, having an extra drink, having whatever the case may be. So who cares if you're a little big? What does it matter? Be healthy or don't. I mean, yeah, that's true. Many people on who are here on my channel are people who are looking to be healthier because that's the kind of content that I put out. So that's why health becomes a conversation here on my channel, because it's literally what I started my channel on. And oh, hang on, Kim. Since I'm not using my phone, I can look. Oh gosh. Since I'm not using my phone, I will look for you. So the moral of the story is whatever day is best for you. I know, so I like Fridays because I like the reset of the weekend. I know people who love Monday weigh-ins because it encourages them to have to continue to not overindulge on the weekends regularly because they have their weigh-in on Mondays. So for me, that would not work. That would feel too restrictive. But for others, that works really, really well. Any day of the week is the best day to weigh in, as long as you're consistent and as long as it works for you. Now, if you're counting calories, it doesn't freaking matter. The only reason a weigh-in day matters is because of points resetting for weeklies. If you don't have weeklies, it don't matter. If you're daily weighing or a couple times a week weighing, it doesn't matter. As long as you're consistent, that is the best. It's like which workout is the best. The one you'll do. The one you'll do is the one that is the best. Which weigh-in day is the best? Whichever one you prefer to do. That's what the best one is, shoe cleats, not ridiculous. Love that. Put them on. My friends swear by them. Excellent. Yeah, I need to look in like what are the best ones? Are they safe to wear inside? I don't know. Why would you set yourself up for a fall daily weigh-in? For a fall daily weight, I weigh myself daily because then I can see the fluctuations and it just kind of keeps me on track. Because here's the thing. Here's the reason why I have started doing the daily weigh-ins. And I've talked about this before, but I'll talk about it again. It's worth repeating, right? What happens when we have a weigh-in day? We only weigh in once a week, right? What have we learned in this last year or two about nutrition and health and the way the body functions? How about those weight fluctuations that are completely 100% natural and normal? And how about that mentality where if we see the scale go up on weigh-in day, we feel awful about ourselves. And oh gosh, things are shipping. Thank goodness. I ordered several things on I almost said Good Friday. Oh my gosh, Black Friday. And I'm getting spam calls from my home area code. Awesome. I ordered a bunch of stuff on Black Friday, and then of course, like Monday or Tuesday rolls around, and I'm like, why the heck? Why the heck is my stuff shipped? I'm being so impatient, and I was like, you literally ordered the day before weekend on a holiday week. Chill out. Like I ordered my healthy eating on the go bars on Black Friday. I am used to healthy eating on the go bars like being shipped out the next day, and I'm sitting here going, where are my healthy eating on the go bars? Give Chris a break. It's fine. It's fine. They'll get to you eventually. It's no big deal. Man, so with the daily weigh-ins or the weekly weigh-ins, we get on that scale. Let's say you did everything right, right? And it's Friday and you're like, yes, I worked out, I got my steps, I did my water, and I didn't even use my weeklies. And you get on the scale and the scale's up. What do? You freak out. You're negative. Oh my gosh, the world has ended, right? Because you thought you did everything right. You thought you deserved a good weigh-in, a loss at the scale, and yet you didn't get one. What you don't know is that the day before, you probably had that weigh-in you were looking for. And it just so happened that your weight spiked on the day that you were supposed to weigh in. If you had weighed in every day, you would have seen the weight going down and you would have known, oh, my weight just spiked on Friday. Not a big deal. So that's the power of having the weekly or the daily weigh-ins, rather. You get more information. You have more information. You have more data. Weighing daily is, in my humble opinion, a must. Yes, it is absolutely a must. 110%. All right, let's see what Kim's question was. Oh, I have all sorts of questions. I have 2 more questions anyway. How are you feeling in deficit during the holidays? I'll be honest, this last week and a half, I have not been in a deficit. Although I stepped on the scale for the first time today and my weight was, oh gosh, I want to make sure that I have it. Where's my Excel sheet? Let's see. I was up 0.8 from my last posted weigh-in. I was up 0.8. And you know what? 0.8 after the week that I had, or the week and a half that I had, I'll take it. I will take it. Because like even, and I talk about it in the video, like after like the fast food at the truck stops and the whatever and everything, like I felt just fluffy. And so I gave it a couple of days. I'm like, I'm not stupid. I'm not going to get on the scale when I know I have Thanksgiving week and travel bloat that I need to get rid of. And so I gave it a couple days and I have not been eating in like a low deficit at all. I like I said earlier, I don't know if you were here, Kim, I upped my calories. So you all get to be privy to the information. I did my own little macros based on what I know and what I coach. What are my current macro goals? I'm not even currently looking at and I talk about this in the video tomorrow, but so I currently use as a tracker. I occasionally pop over to Healthy, but I'm using MyFitnessPal right now. And this dashboard up at the top actually says, these are the things I'm tracking. It's typically my macros. So it'll typically say protein, carbs, fat, and then calories. What you're actually looking at, here's calories, there's protein. I don't know if you can see it. It says sugar and fiber. I'm tracking different things just because like these want to be the top of my mind right now. And I do not have 214 calories left. I have like 30 calories left. What is my current calorie goal, y'all? Sorry, I'm distracted. Goals. 1,600. 1,600 is what I bumped everything up to because eating the low calories was not working for me at this moment. Next week I might bump back down, but I was like, I just need to be and here's why. You know what I preach and what I do with my clients about how like we can stay in a deficit as long as your biofeedback is rock solid, right? One of the primary things of your biofeedback is your sleep. How is your energy, or not your sleep? Well, your sleep, yes, but your energy level. You can stay in a deficit as long as your energy level is good, your sleep is good, your hunger is good, your mood is good. My energy level since we left Minnesota has been dismal. And I like the other day, and I'm sorry, y'all, you're going to hear the same stuff tomorrow. But the day after we got here, I was exhausted. I got up, I walked on the treadmill, I took a shower, shaved my legs, did all the things because, I got to run around in shorts now. And by the time I got out of the shower, boom, all the energy gone. It was like I hit a brick wall. And I was like, I didn't even do the work. My husband drove, my husband unpacked and packed the car and schlepped everything around. I shouldn't be this tired, but I'm exhausted. And I still sleep for 8 hours and I'm still exhausted. So that was yesterday is when I changed my calories. And I was like, you can't be in a low calorie deficit until your energy is back to normal. You can't do that. That's beating a dead horse. Like, that's awful. So I upped my calories a little bit. Still in a deficit, but not as an extreme deficit. Will the scale move? Might move a little bit, but not in a way that the lower calories will. We'll see. We'll see. I also have upped, like I said, my steps are going to be a lot higher here. So we'll see what happens. But I was just going to ask about calories. Yeah. So how many, there's not that many of you. So my low calories, if I'm cutting the way that my coach and I figured out that we need to do it, it was an average of like 1,300 calories a day. Low. That I am not advising that you do this. If you are watching this and you do not have a muscular disability, don't even think about dropping your calories that low. Don't. For my body, that was the only thing we could do to get my scale to move at all. 13, and so with carb cycling, there were days I was eating like 1,247 calories because you take some of your calories away to put them to the higher calorie day later, right? The higher carb day. So that's low. That's really low. That's like what I used to eat on Weight Watchers low. If that's what I need to do to get this done, fine. The rule for us is us being me and my coach. And I'm coaching myself right now. I'm not working with Mindy at the moment, but this is the discussion we had. Just if you cut your calories this low, which you're the exception to the rule, so that's fine. If that's what we have to do, you need to take more frequent diet breaks. That's the bargain. Because I can maintain on 2,000, 2,100 calories, something around there, but I can't lose until almost like 700 calories of a deficit. Like, it's outrageous. What's wrong with you, body? Like, come on. But for now, I was like, you know what? I'm willing to sacrifice the deep deficit for the energy. Until I find my energy down here, I can't. I just can't. And that's just how it's going to have to be. And I'm very proud of myself for making that decision, because I'm sitting here going like, the weight loss is the priority, but I'm going through all the motions. I got my protein today. I got my fiber. I got my water. I got 12,000 steps. Like, I'm checking every single box. It's just at a slightly higher calorie number. And that should, in theory, especially with the increased steps, I could still see some very, very reasonable results with that. We'll see. But once my energy comes back and I go, okay, I'm ready to finally kick it back down, I'll do it, but not until my body is telling me, hey, you have enough energy to function. That's the primary indicator. I'm buying myself a planner for 2023. You should. Are you going to sing it all over Christmas? I mean, I sing constantly, but if you mean at church, no, because I'm not at my church. My church is in Minnesota and I am down here in Florida. So no. I love daily weigh-ins for the most part. The scale has been triggering. Then maybe see if it's triggering to you though, then daily weighing is not the right thing for you. That's the thing. It's triggering at first, but you're so seasoned in it now that it shouldn't be triggering to you anymore. Which means that you need to start doing maybe a weigh-in or two a week, the Happy Scale app. Yes, that's a good one. I love that you can customize MyFitnessPal. I do. I love that. And I was like, well, and was it you that told me that, Lisa? Someone told me that. And I'm like, this is the greatest thing ever. And I was like, can I do fiber? Can I do sugar? Oh my gosh. So now I can keep track of these really important metrics, because as long as I get my calories, my protein, I'm good with, for now, for the holiday season, letting fat and carbs fall where they may. It is not practical for the house that I'm in and the food that I'm surrounded with. Granted, I am doing the grocery shopping. I'm exclusively doing the grocery shopping right now because my mother-in-law can't go to the store. So I'm the one in charge of the food, which is awesome. But the holidays are here and blah 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 blah. XYZ, right? So being meticulous about how many carbs and how many fat I get, it's not the time. January is the time for that. The time is not now. So I'm like, what else can I track to make sure? Because like I told you, like lazy macros is track your calories, track your protein, right? What else can I track? Well, fiber. I've not been great about getting my fiber. So if I make that a priority, your digestive system works better. You feel more satiated. And fiber is great for you for so many reasons. That's a really important thing that you need to have in your diet. So what if I track my fiber? What if I make that one of my key things on my dashboard? Great. What's the other thing I should do? Well, being that I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of sugary junk, which I fully intend on participating in, maybe being mindful and being aware of just how much sugar I'm consuming is the right answer. And so that's what I chose. I chose sugar too. And I was like, and there will be days that number will go in the negative. And there will be days like, what do I have left for today? I have ice cream that I haven't tracked. Where am I at? 32 grams of sugar. My ice cream did not have 32 grams of sugar in it, which means that I actually fell within the window of sugar consumption for today. Happy day to me. So it's just really, it's helpful. I made choices that are like not so meticulous macro tracking, but still really crucially important metrics to be tracking for your health. And I'm very excited about it. I'm very, very excited about it. Your energy is gone completely. That will happen with CMT. That will happen. It's a hard thing. And I'm not a medical professional, and you know this, but I have a hunch, Andy, that you did make a comment about how in a couple of live streams ago, how you have a really hard time eating food. Here's the thing. Food is our primary source of energy. So if you have a disability that has a symptom of chronic fatigue, you already are down and out, right? Your dial that could go up to 10 really already only goes to like 6, right? If you're not fueling your body with enough calories are literally just a unit of energy. If you're not fueling your body with enough calories, that dial is going to just go even lower, because not only do you have chronic fatigue, but you're not giving your body the energy you need in order to function at all, right? Just my 2 cents, because I remember you saying that a couple of weeks ago. Go ahead, go, please. Sleep is so critically important. Pay no mind. Don't worry about us. We'll be fine. For me, the numbers haven't been an issue. It's the trend line. Interesting. Normally had a bit of food, diet, weight loss related mental breakdown a couple weeks ago, and I need to step back on that for a little while. So what are you doing right now? Just maintaining, not tracking? I'm curious. Good night. Andy's saying, everyone's saying good night. Hoping that the happy scale will help me see the trendliness sooner, because of one of my issues that have been, I don't see my weight not progressing the way I want until weeks later. Yeah, and I mean, it takes a while. It takes a while, especially when your actual weights are doing this. Like it takes a while, right? If you lose, but then you gain it all back during your maintenance phase, then you didn't really lose, and everything averages out to net zero. When we're on a weight loss journey, we don't want to see net zero, right? But it might take a while, especially at the beginning. You have to have solid consistency, the right calorie deficit, the right nutrients, and all of that in order to see the scale go down at all. And remember what I said a long time ago about fellow coach friends who are much leaner than I am, who say, like, if they decide to cut for a little bit, do an 8-week cut or something, they won't even see the scale change until like week 4. Like, it takes time. Doing a bit of light tracking to learn conquer cravings, but not committing to anything right now. So yeah, that's solid. Okay. We answered that question. We answered Kim's question. The last question that I have is actually something that I technically already talked about in a different video a video literally with this title, but I'll give you all a refresher. And someone asked, what is on your Christmas list? I'm not kidding. It's right there. It's that one. What is on your Christmas list this year? And I did get a handful of the things. I plan on showing what I did get in my next vlogmas video. I was going to throw it in this one. I was like, oh, I got to film it. And then I realized just how long this current vlogmas video is. And I was like, okay, maybe next video. So I did, what is on my Christmas list? I asked for some really random things. I got Comparte's chocolate bars from my mom, which is one of the things that I suggested. And it's not at all surprising because my mom loves chocolate too. So what she saw when she saw that list was an excuse to try a new brand of chocolate as well. So she and Alice had some apparently. So Comparte's chocolate bars are super fancy chocolate bars, right? They're crazy expensive. They're like $8 or $9 a bar. And then you have to like ship them, right? How long should maintenance be? Maintenance should be most of your life, Sheila. No joke. And I'm not even exaggerating. We should not remain in a deficit. Our goal should not be to be constantly in deficit. Our goal should be to be constantly in maintenance mode. That's the goal. That's the dream. I told this to one of my clients who I've had since day one of my coaching, just Monday when I had my meeting with her. She is killing maintenance in a way that I am envious of. And Kim was actually the same way. You two are two peas in a pod with the terms of success and maintenance. She's averaging 2,300 calories a day. She had, since I've worked with her, I reverse dieted her when we first started, and we started, when did I launch coaching? May of 2021. Since May of 2021, this woman has reverse dieted and hung out in maintenance the entire time. And she's killing it. 2,300 calories on average, watching her nutrition, enjoying her life, going on vacations, having a great time. Her weight has gone up maybe like 3 or 4 pounds, but she's actively working on gaining muscle. Her measurements have not changed. Everything, like, she's living the dream. And I looked at her and I even said that. I was like, you are living the dream. And I am jealous because you have mastered maintenance. And that's amazing. Maintenance should be the goal. Maintenance should be the goal. If you are in a weight loss journey, your goal should be maintenance as long as possible. It depends on the cycle. The normal cycle that I coach is no more than 16 weeks in a deficit. Then you take a 1 to 3 week diet break, which is time spent in maintenance. Then you can do up to another 16 weeks in a deficit. And then you go into maintenance for about as long as you were in your deficit. So like months. And then you can do it again. You got to learn to maintain what you've lost. For a situation like mine, where I have to cut more dramatically and then take more frequent breaks, as long as I'm regularly taking breaks, I can keep going. If I go for 4 or 5 weeks and then break for 4 or 5 days and then go for 4 or 5 weeks and break for 4 and 5 days, my body will be switching it up enough where I don't necessarily need a dramatic maintenance break unless I want one. Could you take that approach as somebody in a higher calorie, like a smaller calorie deficit? Yeah, you probably could. I've never done it, so I don't necessarily know. It'll be harder if you have a less dramatic deficit, like a 250 calorie deficit. It's better to stay in that deficit and then take the extended break after time, versus the lower calorie deficit. Again, do not take the really, really low calorie approach unless it is medically necessary. Do not do that. Which is why I hesitated to tell people what exactly I was, what my calories were, because people are going to go, oh, if she's doing it, I can do it too. No, do not. The reason that I have to do it is because I do not have a normal amount of muscle mass on my body, and therefore my metabolism is biologically slower than the average that is based on calculations, right? I don't have the muscle mass. I don't. I'm getting stronger, but it's still not a normal amount of muscle mass, which is expected. I was born without function in my muscles. It's not shocking. I'm kind of sad to like have tests that confirm it, but it's not surprising, you know? Didn't want to jump into a new program until after the eye thing. Yep. I didn't see change for 3 weeks and I'm averaging 0.6 pounds a week loss. Keep going. That's awesome. That's awesome. It does seem like it's taking forever because it kind of does. Great. But I love that you're just like, you know how it works. You understand how it works and that it takes time and all of those things. And you're just keep going. I'm so stinking proud of you. Kim, you are one of my pride and joys as a client. You really are. Lofty walking mileage. Nice. So looking forward to Vlogmas. Good. I don't know what it's going to look like yet. I don't know how interesting it's going to be. I literally looked at my mother-in-law today and said, I have to do Vlogmas. What kind of interesting things are we going to do? So it's not just me hanging out in the house every day. I don't know. I don't know what Vlogmas is going to look like, but we're going to do something, y'all. I think my plan. Did Kim ask a question? Oh no. Backfired when I really wasn't in a deficit. Yep. That's exactly what happened. Feeling that a points-based plan is going to be better for my mental health when I get back to things. I think that's true. Sounds like it could have been the case for you. Yeah, that's what I firmly believe. Because here's the reality. We just got to take things by the numbers, right, my friends? So if you're sitting there and you're going, okay, I'm in maintenance. Calculator says these are my maintenance calories. And you go to maintenance for 3 months, but your trend line just keeps going up. Newsflash, you weren't in maintenance. You weren't in a surplus. It doesn't matter what the calculator says. The calculator is a starting point. This is why it is very recommended that you get a coach to calculate your macros for you. Shameless plug. I do this. But the reason is when I calculate macros for people, I take a lot of other things into consideration, including dieting history and what has worked for them in the past, right? If somebody wants me to do their macros and they're currently on a weight loss journey and they have a deficit number and they're like, I'm actually losing pretty decently on this, I will use that as a starting point. I will use that and be like, this number clearly works for their body. What can we do to make this the numbers better? Whereas the calculator might be wrong, right? Might be wrong. Right. Well, and you obviously didn't, because when you said it and I was like, wait a minute, how long, I had to piece together for you, which is totally fine because you didn't notice. Which is totally fine. That's the joy of having an outside perspective, right? So when you said like, oh, it's like, at first I was under the impression that like the weight gain happened after a trip that recently happened, right? And then you were like, I was like, wait, when was the trip? And you were like, oh, at the beginning of maintenance ish, roughly. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. But then I go, oh, that was like the whole time. Like that obviously means that that's not maintenance, because that's not like trip bloat. That's a solid trend line going up. I put on 2 pounds after a vacation and then the weight stayed the same. So I didn't think anything of it, but yeah. And then it just continued to. And so that's the trend. Like it's totally normal to go on vacation and gain 2 pounds. When I tell you, I was shocked that I only gained 0.8 after, and like, granted, if I had stepped on the scale on Monday, it would have looked very different. I was probably up 3 pounds, right? I was probably up 3 pounds. Totally normal, totes normal. But if the trend line doesn't change, that's when you realize your problem. Oh, I'm not bloated from vacation. I'm literally eating too much food, and then gain a bit. Then, yeah. And so that's why you're just like, oh, it keeps going up, but you didn't acknowledge the actual trend, right? Which is totally fine. And I'm glad I was able to help you see that, because then you can make different choices next time, which is awesome. Yeah. So anyway, we did it, y'all. We got to 9 o'clock. Oh my goodness, it's so late. But also in this house, we still don't go to bed for another couple hours anyway. So it's all good. All right, I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you for hanging out. This was so much fun. It was so nice to see everybody after a brief break. It feels like when I acknowledged this morning that I had to live stream today, I was like, oh man, I feel like I haven't seen these people in forever. And I know it's only been 1 extra week that I didn't live stream, but it is what it is. So thank you for being here. I will see you guys at the same time next week. I don't think anything funky is happening ever, really. Until we travel again. I don't think anything funky is happening. Huh. Because Christmas is on a weekend, so the holiday doesn't even interfere with anything. Love it. Have a wonderful evening, my friends. It was lovely to talk to you, and I will talk to you at the same time next week. Stay tuned for Vlogmas. Remember, grab your cup of coffee and watch tomorrow's video. Take care.